Hey Peyton, Mr. Johnston here. I just thought I'd take a minute to run through a video maybe to show you how to make the calculation to make sure they're right. You have everything set up correctly. This math looks good. So you got those conversions from thickness to width, that looks good. The area, that looks good. You get your number in scientific notation. So I think where the trouble is might be how you're plugging these numbers in on your calculator. You got parentheses on your paper here. You should always make sure that you're using those parentheses when you type in that number on your calculator. So I've got my calculator here. If I wanted to do that, 5.9 divided by, I could put parentheses around that, 3 times 10 raised to the negative 6 power, and sure enough, my answer matches yours. Same with down here, where you're doing this conversion. You've got your answer that I have on my calculator, and now we're gonna multiply by 1 and divide by 1, so I don't need to really type that in. And then we're gonna multiply by 1 times 10 to the minus 6. If I just take my answer and hit times 1 times 10 raised to the negative 6 power like this, well, your calculator is actually gonna it can sort of mess up those numbers. It's always best to take the number that you had. Let's see. And when you go to put your scientific notation in, always put that in parentheses. And then you should get the correct answer. On the one that you mentioned in your email, where we're taking this number 13.174 and dividing by 1 times 10 to the minus 5th. Let's take a look at that one real quick, how we type it in on our calculator. This is newtons, this is screen. So what you want to end up doing is, again, use those parentheses. If I put parentheses around my scientific notation, then it should work out the way that you want it to. If you don't put parentheses around that number in scientific notation, that's where you might run into problems. So this time I didn't use parentheses, and that's where I run into the problem. This number is that 0.00013,174, and so that's where I think you might have made the mistake. There is another way that you can type in scientific notation, so I'll just show you that real quick. If I want to take this number and divide by 1 times 10 to the minus 5th, I can type in 1, and now on your calculator you should have this EE. That EE is how your calculator does scientific notation. So this is the second function of this comma key, so I have to hit second and then the comma key to get the EE. And my calculator, now I got an E here. That's means times 10, and I put the exponent in as minus 6. And so that should also give you the correct answer. I hope that's helpful.